Morning everyone, my name is Kevin. Today we're going to be showing you how to smoke a brisket on a Traeger Pellet Grill. Now it's really quite simple. First thing you're going to do is, if you bought this frozen or if you had it frozen, thaw it out. Leave it in the fridge overnight for roughly 2 nights. She should be good to go. Then, in my opinion, the most important step, the trim. Now a lot of people I see take all this fat off, and that is not the way to do it. This fat is your friend. It will melt down into the meat and keep it moist. Some people will inject. I don't do that. I let the fat do the work for me. So when I trim, I like to leave a 1/4 inch on the bottom where you see the fat cap. No more than that. Leave a 1/4 inch there, and then I'll lay it fat down. Some people will go fat on the top and it'll melt down through. I find I've done it both ways. It really makes no difference there. The reason I put fat cap on the bottom is because when it's on the bottom, it protects it a little bit from the direct heat. Now a pellet grill will have a burn pot, so that fat cap will protect it a little bit. I'll take down some of the fat on the top here, but this chunk is nice too. But I will take that down a little bit because there is too much there. So just a little bit of trimming is required, and I will show you that quickly. The next thing I'm going to do is season this up. Now there's so many fancy rubs out there, as you can see behind me, and those are great, but I generally like to use those for ribs and pulled pork and chicken and stuff like that. For beef brisket, pepper and kosher salt. Those are the 2 main things you need, and you can add garlic powder to that if you'd like. But with salt and pepper, that is the traditional way to do this, and I find it is the best tasting. You want to showcase the beef, pepper and salt. Love beef, so I keep it simple. Now you go 3-to-1 ratio. 3 parts pepper, 1 salt. So you can mix that in a container and then put an even distribution across it. And when I do this, it's gonna look like a lot, and that's because it is, but this is a huge piece of meat. All right, so you can do this the night before, let it sit in the fridge if you have it thawed out, and that'll be all the better. But right now we're gonna do it day of, and that is fine too. Now we've preheated our Traeger to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna cook this brisket on there until it reaches an internal temperature of roughly 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that is when your bark should set. If your bark hasn't set, just leave it a few more degrees, but then we're gonna wrap it in the peach paper. And then we'll reprobe it and we'll let it sit in there until it gets to an internal temp of around 203 degrees. And we're gonna pull it, wrap it in a beach towel, and throw it in our Yeti cooler for a couple of hours to rest. Then we're gonna pull it out, take the beach towel off, let it sit on the counter for a further 30 minutes to cool down so I can slice it. And then we're gonna remove the peach paper. All the juices, or most of the juices are gonna absorb back into the meat. There's still gonna be some laying in the peach paper, and that is okay. Put it on your cutting board and slice away. Alright, so the brisket's all trimmed up and seasoned up. As you can see, there's a lot of pepper and salt on there, and that is what you want. So now we're gonna go lay this on the grill. It has been preheated to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. That's where you want that. And we're gonna let this go, and it's gonna take a while. Brisket takes a long time. Do the trim, get yourself a nice boning knife. That is the best knife to be able to do this properly. And yeah, just have fun with it. We're gonna head on out. All right, today we're using Traeger Texas beef pellets in the grill, which is mesquite, oak, and pecan blend. 2 of those are my favorite for brisket, mesquite and oak. To teach you how to open the bag, knife, slice. Nice thing about this grill is that it's a huge hopper. Basically fit a 20-pound bag in this hopper. There was a few pellets left over from the last cook that we're just gonna burn through. So a 20-pound bag will fit in here. Yeah, just take a peek. Okay, so We don't have it probed yet because we don't need to. Still got a long ways to go, but I'm gonna spritz it with apple cider vinegar in a little bit, and that just cools it down a touch, especially on the flat. Kind of important, you don't have to do it. I'll probably add a water pan at some point too, to create a little moisture inside of this barrel. All right, so I'm at that time where I'm gonna probe this thing, and I got this sweet tool, Cook Perfect, which, yeah, it's like a wireless, it hooks up to my phone. Don't know if you can see that. And I can just sit in the comfort of my house and know what's going on. So, it comes with this, it comes with one probe, space for a second, and it's Bluetooth. So, you need Bluetooth, but you just download an app, and it's got all sorts of fun things. But, it's got a little marker line on there. Just gonna push it past that. And it's got a magnet. This here's a magnet, so it'll stick and not fall. So, look at that, I'm getting a call from Quebec. I bet that's a scam. But anyway, we're just gonna ignore that call so I can continue this video. And right now it's showing me in Celsius. So I'm gonna somehow figure out how to change that to Fahrenheit because I like Fahrenheit. But yeah, right now we're sitting, you can see it there. Pretty cool, pretty neat. So check it out. You can find these at Rosenort Co-op. That's what it looks like when it's wrapped in peach paper. All right, we're currently at 195. Kind of just tell by touching it, it's kind of buttery, especially in the flat. A little bit more to go on the point there, but we're close. All right, this is my little smoker buddy. He wanted to be in here. His name's Gunner. All right, but back to this. So we're sitting at 196. We're almost ready to pull. At 180, I ramped this thing up to 270 degrees. You can turn it up a bit. It's protected by that peach paper. But yeah, it speeds it up a little bit, but not too much. We're sitting at 12 and a half hours already on this cook. I really like this Traeger grill. The temperatures you're seeing here are very similar to what I'm getting from our wireless unit that we have on the phone, and it's very accurate, so it's making this thing legit. All in all, I'm very impressed with this Traeger unit. I believe this is the Ironwood 885, so this is a good unit. I'm very happy with it. We've had no issues with it. So next step, beach towel. We hit it, 2:03, finally 13 hours later, but it's done, we're there. And now the tender care doesn't stop. And now we throw it in the Yeti. These things are incredible. Camping and you know, all that stuff, your drinks, whatever, but it's also great to house your brisket for 3 to 4 hours. And this thing I found, that was a 22-pound brisket we did today. And we would fit another 2 of those in here, in this model. This is the 45. So, amazing, worth every penny. So we're gonna shove this in here, seal it up, and let it sit for 3 to 4 hours. Then we're gonna pull it out, cool it off on the counter for 30 minutes, slice into it, and in this case, backpack it and put it in the fridge. And of course, eat some. If you wanna see what it looks like, continue to watch. That's what's coming up next. All right, how about we take a look? That smells amazing. That never gets old. When you've done 100 of these things, that smell just never gets old. Look at that. Why don't you come take a look at that? All right, so as you can see there, that is pretty perfect. So all you gotta do when you're slicing is you go against the grain. Just find that grain, go against it, and it does change as you go from flat to point. This is one of the most tender
briskets I've ever made. It's insane.
That right there, folks. That's what it's all about.
Now, yeah, if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. I'd be happy to answer every one of them. Yeah, so review of the product, from the thermometer to the grill, it all A+. It's all great. So thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video today. Stay tuned for our next video and check out Rosenort Co-op. They got all this good stuff. Have a good evening.